Hey YouTube, what's going on? This is Chroah. It's been a while since I posted on the channel because I've been busy moving and such. But I'm going to try to post up videos every now and then. Let's see. Intro to this video. Where to start? Well, before Stardust was banned and I was still playing Yu-Gi-Oh! But I was off YouTube, I've been playing this deck called Chaos Heroes. Although the deck was so unique, like so special and different, that everybody at locals pretty much named the entire deck after me. So it was known as Train Heroes. But after Stardust got banned, the deck now is pretty much a shadow of its former self. It's nowhere near as powerful as it used to be, but I really do try my best to make it like pretty much as good as it used to be, but it really isn't. Before when Stardust was legal, the deck would always have 6 cards in hand because of as many times as you can recycle Stardust. It was just ridiculous. But, well, now it's not really even Chaos Heroes. The Heroes is just there for Miracle Fusion now. But you'll see when you get more towards the video. But, yeah, one day in the future, I'm going to show you guys what Train Heroes or Chroah Chaos Heroes really does look like with Stardust. But for now, here is the January 2014 format of Chroah's Chaos Heroes. Oh, and one more thing. I've been playing this deck a long time. And my friends really loved it, and they really help out a lot when it comes to pimping it out. So you're going to see a lot of cool looking cards here. So let's start off with 1 BLS, 2 Trags, 1 Gorz, 1 Chaos Sorcerer, and 1 Honest for the Chaos Engine. Extending on that, we have 2 white and 2 black dragons. For the heroes is 2 aliases, rest in peace Stardust, 2 Photon Thrashers, 1 Thunder King Ryo, 2 Summoner Monks, and for tuners, there's 1 Masked Cameleon, 1 Vylon Prism, and then there is a extra sword in there as well. Next, we have 3 tour guides. The previous version didn't play tour guides. That's why I have like two proxies. But I'll get those eventually. Like, making this deck real isn't really my top priority right now. I'm just in the middle of moving. 2 Cardcar Ds and 1 Effect Veiler. So here's the monster lineup. Lots and lots of monsters. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 monsters. Cool. Spells. Yeah, you'll notice that there is no traps in this deck because this is a trapless deck. It's spell heavy, and all the traps goes to the Ilmos anti-meta deck. So that deck's like trap heavy, this deck's spell heavy, so it's really fun to go between the two. We have Draw Power, Allure, 2 Pot of Duality, 3 Upstart Goblins, 1 Rhoda, and 2 E-Calls for the deck thinners. And then there's 2 Miracle Fusion, 1 Dark Hole, 2 MSTs, and a very, very special card, that Wacky Magic. What this card does is really fits the deck's theme of chaos. It banishes all the spells in my graveyard, multiplies them by 300, and then destroys all monsters on my opponent's side of the field with that much defense or lower. So in this format, all I need is 1 spell. Activate this, count 300, and that kills all Bujin Yamatos right there. And then it's like a Raigeki right off the bat. If he draws late game and the graveyard's loaded with all these spells, it basically does become a Raigeki. So it's like playing 1 Raigeki, 1 Dark Hole in this kind of deck. It's really good. Drawing it early game really sucks if you don't have any spells, but that's why you play Summoner Monk. That's the spells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 spells. You can play Treacherous Trap Hole too. I used to play that card actually in this deck, but I felt with Bujins nowadays, it's just like not as good as it used to be. Extra deck. 2 Elemental Hero The Shinings and 1 Elemental Hero Escuridao. Synchros. 1 Angel of Zera. I didn't like the art on the original because it looks kind of ugly, so I changed it. I like this one a lot better. Zera is the key card to this deck. You make Zera ASAP and just keep banishing it with like half the deck. Miracles and White Dragons and... wait. Miracles, Black Dragons, and Chaos Monsters. 1 Scrap Dragon, 1 Stardust Spark Dragon. That's it for the Synchros. Exceeds, we have 2 Tour Guide targets, 1 M-X-Saber Invoker, just to bring out extra sword, and 1 Leviair. 1 Blade Armor for the OTK, which I'll show you guys later. 1 Paladynamo, 1 Excalibur, Gagaga Cowboy, Marstroke, Ouroboros, and Felgrand. So, that is it for the extra deck. I didn't make a side deck yet because the format hasn't been defined, but you'll probably see one in the future deck profile. Yeah. If you guys want to see some combos, go ahead and stick around. If not, you can exit the video and try to figure out the deck yourself, because I can almost guarantee you it's going to be a very, very difficult task. So the first combo I'm going to show you requires 1 of 2 tutors and 1 of 2 of the White Dragon or Black Dragon. Every 93 combo. It's simple. You special by banishing a light or special by banishing a dark. Normal summon a tuner, synchro into either a Spark Dragon or a Scrap Dragon. For this example, use Scrap Dragon. Use White's effect, search out Black, special Black. Alright, this is equal to him by the way. Use his effect to pop him or pop Prism. If you popped him, he would activate and search out the second copy of White, and you still have your 38 beater. And you essentially lost no advantage while popping 1 card on the field. Next up is the OTK that I talked about earlier. All you need are 1 Thrasher and 1 Tour Guide. And the opponents have like an empty field, or if you know they don't have anything in their background to stop this. What you do is Special Thrasher, and 1 Tour Guide, Special Tour Guide, overlay into Invoker. After Invoker's effect, attach Tour Guide, Special Extra Sword, overlay into Blade Armor Ninja. Detach Thrasher, so Masked Cameleon's live. And right here is 33, 66, and 76, 82. Here's 8200 right here. So that's the OTK with a Thrasher and a Tour Guide. And then, yeah, you have 2 Darks and then all that cool stuff. This next combo basically brings out Felgrand. Really cool, like, say you have a Thrasher and a hero in your graveyard, and you have these 2 in your hand. Use his effect, Special Thrasher, synchro into a Spark Dragon, and then use Miracle Fusion. The way that Masked Cameleon works is that when you use his effect, you can't special anything else except for the extra deck. People always get that confused. So you banish Alius and Thrasher to bring out Shining. And then you attack, main phase 2, overlay into Felgrand. And right here is pretty much the coolest play in the deck because you just made an Exceed from a Fusion and a Synchro. This would probably look cooler if this was actually purple, but right now this just looks really, really cool. The first turn play that you want to go for the most is to bring out Angel of Zera. And the best way to make Angel of Zera is by having 1 Monk and 1 spell in your hand. I'm going to use Upstart Goblin because it's the most commonly used spell for Monk to discard with. So you use Summon Monk, discard Upstart Goblin, then use special Vylon Prism. Synchro into Angel of Zera, then use Prism's effect to equip the Zera, and now you have a 3800 Zera by using just 2 cards. So, this is basically your engine right here. Well, something that you just work around. It's like infinite light source. So when Zera dies by Dark Hole or something, pretty much all of these cards here work to banish Zera. These two, which are searchable by light, these two, well, a hero player knows that you're always going to top deck into this whenever you need it to be. You can play 2 Chaos Sorcerers if you want, and BLS, well, he's probably like the best target, because you can banish Zera, bring him out, next turn bring this out, and then make a Felgrand from there. And that's really, really cool. So Zera is your go-to synchro if you don't know what to go to anywhere else. Now, for those of you who followed me from like way back when, you saw this really cool combo that I did with like the very first draft of Chaos Heroes. That requires you play Leviair Chain. The only reason I don't play Leviair Chain now is because the extra deck is really, really tight, and I don't have a Leviair Chain anymore. But if you do have one, this is a combo that you could consider doing. So this one requires a Tour Guide, a White Dragon, and an Upstart Goblin. What you do is normal Tour Guide, special Tour Guide, overlay into Invoker, detach material, and then use special out Extra Sword. You banish Tour Guide for White Dragon, and then overlay for, well, pretend this is a Leviair Chain. So now you have an 1800 Leviair Chain. Detach material, and then top deck BLS. Then you activate Upstart Goblin, draw BLS, and then drop it, assuming you have another dark in the graveyard. So you banish light and a dark, and then here is just a really, really cool field. So you should have an Invoker, a 2800 Leviair Chain, and a BLS. Hopefully there was a, what's it called, Angel of Zera in the graveyard. So on your post turn, you would have a Angel of Zera, BLS, 2800 Leviair Chain, and an Invoker. This is another OTK of the deck. All you need are these 3 cards. This could be an E-Call, this could be a Rhoda. It's simple, really. Special Thrasher, normal Alias, overlay into Photon Thrasher, detach 2, target a monster and post out of field, then drop BLS, and then BLS attacks a monster, attack directly, attack, and that's 8,000 exactly right there. And they both look really, really cool. Now, when people play a deck thinning card, they would use it right away, because that's what it's used for. It's used to deck thin. But in this deck, because you play Summoner Monk, you have to think of these cards a little bit differently. If you already have an Alias on board, in a graveyard, or on the field, or in hand, keep the E-Call. Never use it, because you only have 2 targets in the deck. If you use up the second Alias, then that's really it. You have Alias, but the other Alias already serves its purpose. It's there to be exceeded with, or to use as a beater, or to use for Miracle Fusion fodder. The next E-Call should be used when you have a Monk. Because if you use a E-Call, you got the Alias, sure, but now you have 1 less spell in your hand to use for Monk. So if you draw into Monk, you have an Alias. And now you have to decide if you want to use that Miracle Fusion, or you have to decide if you want to use that Dark Hole instead of, well, it could have been the E-Call. Now you're always going to see Summoner Monk. I'm like, it's just how the deck is. You're always going to see this card because of all the deck thinning you do. And if you banish Monk, you can also bring it back with Tour Guide by making Leviair. And the same goes for Upstart. If you have 2 copies of Upstart, use that 1 copy of Upstart, but keep this in your hand. This is a card you can use actually whenever you want. You can use it whenever you feel like you need to get out of a bad situation or whatever, because it's not E-Call, it's not specific. But the same situation still applies, where if you use Upstart and you draw into a monster, Or if you use Upstart, then you draw into Summoner Monk. That happens a lot too. So just keep the Upstart as long as you can. And once you can't, then you use it, and hopefully you draw into that BLS or draw into that Miracle Fusion. But really hold on to spell cards for Monk. If you have Pot of Duality, however, use it right away. Like, if you have Pot of Duality, it's going to clog up your hand. You don't have the freedom to choose whenever you want to use it. Just use this right away. If you have Duality and Monk in hand, well then you can just use Monk, discard the Duality, and then go into a level 8 Synchro. Now this field you won't see too often, but at the same time you actually do see it pretty often. And it's really, really cool if you pull off. But this requires you, this field is when I played the old version of Chroah Chaos Heroes. And this is a really, 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 really common field to get into with the old build. And it requires you to play Utopia at that time. If I ever show off the old profile of Chroah Chaos Heroes, then if you guys want to play with that for casuals, you're going to see this field a lot, and it is really, really cool if you get it off. It's by accident too. You don't even need to go for it. It just happens. It's easy. But one way you can get into a similar field in this deck is Special Thrasher. Normal summon Monk. Use Monk's effect. Discard a spell. Special Prism. Synchro for a Stardust Spark Dragon. But this would be a Stardust Dragon in the past because Spark Dragon wasn't out yet. Prism equipped to Stardust. And then banish to Special Light. And then overlay into Utopia. And then use Miracle Fusion to bring out Shining. And this is the main character field. So you have Yuma, Yusei, and Judai. And this just looks really, really cool. But again, it's not going to be that consistent in this version. It's a lot more consistent in the Strauss version. If Strauss ever comes back, then prepare to play the coolest deck in the world. So yeah guys, that is the January 2014 format of Chroah Chaos Heroes. If you guys like the deck profile, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you ever want to see the previous version of Chroah Chaos Heroes when Strauss was legal, mention it in the comments down below. Actually, no, scratch that. I'm going to post up a comment below myself. Thumbs up that comment. If that comment reaches enough feedback, then I will post my previous version of Chroah Chaos Heroes. So, once again, this is Cresta, signing out.